Hello, I'm Deidre, your relationship coach, and welcome back to our channel, OMG Kiss Me. Have you ever wondered if your relationship is nearing its end? If so, you're not alone. Many of us have faced this challenging question at some point. Today, we're diving deep into a crucial topic: how to know if your relationship is over and 7 tips to make it work. In this video, we'll walk you through 7 signs that your relationship might be in trouble and 7 essential tips to help you revive the connection. By the end, you'll have the tools you need to give your relationship a fighting chance. Have you ever found yourself sitting next to your partner, yet feeling miles apart? It's a troubling experience, isn't it? Imagine this. Sarah and Jake were once a couple who shared everything. They would talk late into the night about their dreams, their fears, and their future. But over time, something changed. Their conversations dwindled, becoming limited to mundane topics like what's for dinner or whose turn it is to take out the trash. The deep, meaningful exchanges they once had were replaced with silence, or worse, strained and awkward dialogues. Sarah found herself hesitating to share her personal thoughts and feelings, fearing it would lead to an argument or be met with indifference. Jake, on the other hand, seemed to withdraw more each day, spending hours on his phone or avoiding conversations altogether. The emotional gap between them widened, and Sarah felt like she was walking on eggshells, trying not to start a fight. Simple discussions turned into heated arguments, and it felt like they were speaking different languages. They were physically together, but emotionally distant, living parallel lives under the same roof. The realization hit Sarah hard. Their relationship was suffering from a lack of communication. When the lines of communication break down, it can feel as if you're losing touch with your partner's feelings, thoughts, and experiences. This disconnect doesn't mean your relationship is doomed, but recognizing it is the first crucial step towards rebuilding the bridge of understanding that binds you together. So, how do you turn things around when words seem to fail? Can communication really be restored? Let's revisit Sarah and Jake. Determined to save their relationship, Sarah decided to take the first step. She planned a quiet evening where they could talk without distractions. She started by expressing her own feelings, sharing her thoughts, fears, and aspirations. It was difficult at first. Her voice wavered, and she worried Jake wouldn't respond. But, to her surprise, Jake listened. He didn't interrupt or judge, he just listened. Encouraged, Sarah continued, and slowly, Jake began to open up as well. They practiced active listening, really trying to understand the emotions and meanings behind each other's words. They made a point to maintain eye contact, show affection through touch, and be mindful of their body language. When Jake spoke, Sarah made sure to put away her phone and give him her full attention, showing him that he was her priority. It wasn't an overnight transformation. There were setbacks and moments of frustration, but they remained patient and committed to improving their communication. They eliminated distractions during important discussions and created a safe space for open, honest conversations. Over time, their efforts paid off. Their conversations became deeper and more meaningful again. They started to understand each other's perspectives and feelings, fostering a safe, supportive space where both could express themselves openly and honestly. The result was a deeper connection, improved understanding, and a stronger, healthier relationship. Rebuilding communication is a great start, but what if emotional and physical closeness starts to fade? Do you ever feel more like roommates than romantic partners with your significant other? Imagine Mark and Lisa, a couple who once couldn't spend a moment apart. Their days were filled with laughter and nights with passion. But gradually, a change crept in. Emotional conversations turned into discussions about bills and schedules. The physical closeness that defined their early relationship days started to fade. Kisses turned into quick pecks, and their once regular intimate encounters became few and far between. The decline in sexual activity wasn't sudden, but was noticeable. Lisa felt Mark becoming more distant, his touch less frequent and more hesitant. It wasn't just the physical intimacy that suffered, they seemed to be emotionally drifting apart too. Mark appeared present but was emotionally detached, his thoughts elsewhere, leaving Lisa feeling alone and craving the connection they once effortlessly shared. The realization dawned on Lisa that their relationship was marred by not just an emotional, but also a physical distance. Acknowledging this was painful but necessary, as it was the first step towards addressing the underlying issues causing their drift. So, when the intimacy fades, where do you turn? Can a professional really help rekindle the connection? Lisa broached the subject of seeking help, suggesting that they consult with a sex therapist or a couples counselor. Mark was initially skeptical, unsure how talking to a stranger could restore their intimacy. However, seeing the pain it was causing Lisa, he agreed to give it a chance. Their sessions with the sex therapist were eye-opening. It provided a safe and open environment where they could explore sensitive topics without judgment. The therapist helped them address not just the physical aspects of their relationship, but also the emotional underpinnings that influenced their physical connection. They discussed their anxieties, daily stresses, and unresolved conflicts that were manifesting as a barrier to their intimacy. Through guided discussions and prescribed exercises, they slowly began to understand each other's needs and desires. The therapist helped them navigate their emotional blockages and reconnect on a physical level. They learned new ways to express affection and rediscover their physical closeness. Gradually, Mark and Lisa saw improvements. Their emotional intimacy bolstered their physical relationship, leading to a revival of their sexual life. They left sessions feeling closer, more understood, and physically reconnected. Seeking professional help not only addressed the decline in their sexual activity, but also strengthened their overall relationship, reaffirming their commitment and love for each other. Reviving intimacy can be challenging, but what happens when you start to picture your future in a different light? Have you ever caught yourself daydreaming about a life where your partner isn't by your side? Consider Mia and Jack, a couple who had always planned their future together. They dreamed of traveling the world, buying a house, and maybe even starting a family. But lately, Mia found her thoughts wandering. Instead of picturing these plans with Jack, she imagined them alone. She thought about taking trips solo or with friends, and what it would be like to make decisions without consulting him. At first, Mia brushed these thoughts aside, assuming they were just fleeting daydreams, but as time went on, she realized these visions were becoming more frequent and detailed. She found a strange sense of peace and relief in these fantasies, something she hadn't felt in her current relationship. Jack, on the other hand, was oblivious to Mia's inner turmoil, continuing to discuss their future plans as if nothing had changed. Mia started to worry about the implications of her thoughts. Was she subconsciously preparing herself for a life without Jack? Did this mean she was falling out of love, or was it a sign of deeper issues in their relationship? Mia's frequent daydreams about a future without Jack were a clear sign that something was amiss. This realization was crucial, as it highlighted her disengagement from the relationship and the need to address these underlying issues before they grew insurmountable. But how do you rekindle a shared vision when it feels like you're drifting apart? Can realignment bring back the connection? Determined to understand her feelings, Mia decided to have an open conversation with Jack about their future. She expressed her fears and the disconnect she felt, sharing how her visions of the future had changed. Jack was taken aback but listened attentively, realizing for the first time how distant they had become in their aspirations. They decided to revisit their shared goals and dreams. Mia and Jack each wrote down their individual aspirations, from career ambitions to personal growth goals. They then compared their lists and discussed how these could fit into a shared future. This exercise revealed how much they had both evolved and how their dreams had diverged over time. Instead of seeing this divergence as a problem, They saw it as an opportunity to blend their new dreams into a shared vision. They planned new activities together, like a project they were both passionate about, and scheduled regular check-ins to discuss their goals and aspirations. They also sought the help of a relationship coach, who provided tools and techniques to navigate their evolving dreams and align them with their relationship. This professional guidance helped them find common ground and rekindle the excitement of building a future together. Over time, Mia and Jack's efforts to realign their vision paid off. They felt more connected and excited about their future together. By openly discussing their evolving dreams and seeking professional help, they were able to create a shared vision that satisfied both of them, bringing back the closeness and commitment they once cherished. Creating a shared vision is crucial, but what do you do when respect and admiration seem to disappear? Do your conversations with your partner often end in criticism and contempt? Picture Rachel and Tom, a couple who used to be the epitome of mutual respect and admiration. They celebrated each other's successes and were supportive during tough times. But lately, their interactions had taken a turn for the worse. Instead of supportive words, their conversations were laced with constant criticism and contempt. Rachel found herself criticizing Tom for the smallest things, from how he did the dishes to the way he dressed. She felt like nothing he did was ever good enough. Tom, in response, became defensive and started retaliating with contemptuous remarks, mocking Rachel's opinions and ridiculing her feelings. The eye-rolling, sarcasm, and hurtful comments became a daily occurrence, eroding the respect they once had for each other. Their home, which was once filled with laughter and love, now felt like a battleground. Rachel felt under constant attack, and Tom felt belittled and unloved. This toxic cycle of criticism and contempt was taking a toll on their emotional well-being, creating a growing chasm between them. Rachel and Tom realized that their relationship was being undermined by constant criticism and contempt. This acknowledgement was crucial as it highlighted the need for them to address these destructive behaviors to restore the love and respect they once had. Now, how do you replace criticism and contempt with kindness and respect? Is it even possible to rebuild what's been lost? Determined to break the cycle, Rachel and Tom decided to make a conscious effort to reintroduce kindness and respect into their relationship. They began by acknowledging their own feelings and understanding that their hurtful words stem from a place of pain and dissatisfaction. Rachel started practicing self-kindness, recognizing that her harshness towards Tom was a reflection of her own inner turmoil. She learned to treat herself with compassion, which in turn helped her be more compassionate towards Tom. She made an effort to express appreciation for the small things Tom did, like making her coffee in the morning or taking care of a household chore without being asked. Tom, on his part, began to show empathy towards Rachel's feelings. Instead of mocking her opinions, he started listening more attentively, validating her emotions, and showing genuine interest in her thoughts. They set boundaries for respectful communication, agreeing to avoid name-calling, interruptions, and dismissive behavior. They also established rules of engagement for their arguments, such as focusing on the issue at hand and not resorting to personal attacks. They sought guidance from a therapist who provided them with tools to manage conflicts constructively and rebuild their emotional connection. Over time, Rachel and Tom saw a significant improvement in their relationship. The atmosphere in their home became more peaceful and loving. By practicing kindness and respect, they were able to heal the wounds caused by criticism and contempt. Their efforts to communicate respectfully and empathetically restored the mutual respect and love they once cherished, proving that it is indeed possible to rebuild what's been lost. Restoring respect and kindness can heal wounds, but how do you sustain a thriving connection when effort seems one-sided? Have you noticed that the spark in your relationship seems to have dimmed and one or both of you have stopped trying? Take the case of Ben and Laura, who were once the embodiment of an energetic and committed couple. They always made an effort to plan special dates, surprise each other with little gifts, and engage in meaningful conversations. But gradually, Ben noticed a change. The spontaneous weekend getaways and thoughtful gestures became rare. Laura stopped initiating plans or even participating in conversations about their future. Ben felt like he was carrying the weight of the relationship. He was the one always planning dates, trying to resolve conflicts, and putting in the effort to keep their connection alive. Laura, on the other hand, seemed to be disengaged, often absorbed in her own world, leaving Ben feeling taken for granted and unappreciated. Conversely, Laura also felt the strain. She believed that her efforts went unnoticed and unacknowledged by Ben. She became complacent, expecting Ben to handle most of the relationship's emotional and practical responsibilities. This imbalance led to resentment on both sides, and their once vibrant relationship started to feel more like a chore than a partnership. The realization hit them both hard. Their relationship was suffering from a lack of mutual effort. Recognizing this imbalance was crucial, as it signaled the need for both of them to reassess their contributions and re-engage in nurturing their bond. How can you reignite the flame and restore balance in your relationship? Is it possible to feel like a team again? Eager to bring back the spark, Ben and Laura decided to have a candid conversation about their feelings and perceptions. Ben expressed how he felt burdened by the one-sided effort, and Laura shared her feelings of being unappreciated and overlooked. This conversation was an eye-opener for both of them. They agreed to start small, with daily gestures of appreciation and shared responsibilities. Ben made an effort to acknowledge and thank Laura for her contributions, no matter how small. Laura, in turn, took the initiative to plan a date night and participate more actively in their daily routines. They also decided to make a list of tasks and responsibilities that they could share equally. Whether it was household chores, planning vacations, or making financial decisions, they aimed to create a balance that felt fair to both of them. This exercise not only distributed the workload, but also fostered a sense of teamwork and mutual respect. To further support their efforts, they attended a few sessions with a relationship counselor who helped them navigate their communication and manage their expectations. The counselor provided them with strategies to maintain this balance and keep their relationship dynamic and engaging. As they continued to work on rebalancing their efforts, Ben and Laura found that it brought them closer. Their relationship regained its energy and enthusiasm as they started to feel like a team again. By sharing responsibilities and appreciating each other's efforts, they rekindled the connection that initially brought them together, proving that mutual effort is key to a thriving relationship. Balancing efforts can rekindle your connection, but what if negative emotions continue to linger? Do you often feel unhappy, anxious, or emotionally drained in your relationship? Think about Alex and Jamie, who used to be each other's safe haven. Their relationship was a source of joy and comfort. However, over time, Alex began to feel a persistent sense of unhappiness. Little things that Jamie did started to irritate him, and he found himself constantly anxious and emotionally exhausted. Arguments that used to be rare became a regular occurrence. Alex felt like he was walking on eggshells, always anticipating the next conflict. Jamie noticed the change in Alex's demeanor, but felt equally trapped by her own negative emotions. She often felt undervalued and unappreciated, leading to feelings of resentment. Unresolved issues lingered between them, contributing to a tense atmosphere at home. External stressors, like work pressure and family problems, added to the emotional strain, making it hard to distinguish between the relationship issues and outside influences. Both Alex and Jamie felt lonely, even when they were together, as the emotional connection that once bonded them seemed to have faded away. The realization for Alex and Jamie was stark. Their relationship was suffering from persistent negative feelings. Recognizing these feelings was essential, as it highlighted the need to address both internal and external factors affecting their emotional well-being. Well, how can you transform persistent negative feelings into a positive and fulfilling relationship? Is there a way to break the cycle? Intent on reclaiming the joy in their relationship, Alex and Jamie decided to confront their feelings head on. They began by individually reflecting on the sources of their negative emotions. Alex realized that his work stress and unresolved past conflicts with Jamie were major contributors. Jamie acknowledged that feeling undervalued and external pressures were affecting her mood. They decided to have an open and honest conversation about their findings. Using I statements, Alex expressed his feelings of anxiety and emotional exhaustion by saying, "I feel overwhelmed and anxious when we argue frequently," while Jamie shared her feelings of being unappreciated by saying, "I feel unappreciated when my efforts go unnoticed." This dialogue helped them understand each other's emotional state and fostered mutual empathy. To tackle the issues, they identified specific changes they could make. They agreed to set boundaries for work-related stress, ensuring they had quality time together without interruptions. They also made a commitment to appreciate and acknowledge each other's efforts regularly. Recognizing the need for external help, they sought therapy, both individually and as a couple. The therapist helped them navigate their emotional challenges, providing strategies to manage stress, improve communication, and rebuild their emotional connection. They also prioritized self-care activities such as meditation, exercise, and hobbies that brought them joy. By taking care of their individual well-being, they were better equipped to support each other. After a while, Alex and Jamie noticed a significant improvement in their relationship. The persistent negative feelings began to dissipate, replaced by a renewed sense of joy and connection. By addressing their emotional struggles and making positive changes, they transformed their relationship, proving that it is possible to break the cycle of negativity and build a fulfilling partnership. Addressing emotional struggles can bring joy back into your relationship, but how do you move forward when trust is broken? Have you found yourself doubting your partner's intentions or feeling insecure about their commitment? Imagine David and Emily, a couple who had always prided themselves on their strong foundation of trust. They shared everything, from their deepest secrets to their biggest fears. But one day, Emily discovered that David had been hiding something significant, a financial issue he hadn't disclosed. This revelation shook her trust to its core. Emily started to question everything David said and did. She felt betrayed and began to second-guess his intentions, wondering if there were other secrets he was keeping from her. David, realizing the impact of his actions, tried to reassure Emily, but the damage was done. His attempts at transparency felt too little, too late. The breach of trust led to constant arguments and a pervasive sense of insecurity. Emily found herself needing constant reassurance, while David felt increasingly frustrated by her lack of trust. Their relationship, once a safe haven, now felt unstable and fraught with tension. The realization for David and Emily was painful but clear. Their relationship was suffering from a breakdown in trust. Recognizing this breach was essential, as it highlighted the need for both of them to actively work towards rebuilding the trust that had been lost. Can trust even be rebuilt after it's been broken? How do you restore the foundation of your relationship? Committed to salvaging their relationship, David and Emily decided to tackle the issue directly. They began by acknowledging the breach of trust and the pain it had caused. David took full responsibility for his actions, expressing genuine remorse and understanding the impact on Emily. They sought the help of a relationship therapist who specialized in trust issues. The therapist provided a structured environment for them to explore their feelings and rebuild their trust step by step. David learned the importance of transparency and consistency in his actions. He made a commitment to open and honest communication, ensuring Emily felt included in all aspects of their life together. Emily, on her part, worked on expressing her fears and doubts without falling into the trap of constant suspicion. The therapist helped her articulate her need for reassurance in a constructive way, fostering a space where both she and David could communicate openly without judgment. They also established new boundaries and set realistic expectations for their relationship. David agreed to be more forthcoming with information that might affect their trust, while Emily committed to giving him the benefit of the doubt and not letting past breaches overshadow their progress. As part of their rebuilding process, they created a trust plan with actionable steps and regular check-ins to discuss their progress. This plan included small but significant actions, like David sharing daily updates about his activities and Emily actively acknowledging his efforts to be transparent. Their efforts bore fruit as they continued to work on their relationship. The trust between David and Emily began to rebuild, and the foundation of their relationship grew stronger. The therapist's guidance and their mutual commitment to change helped them overcome the breach and restore their sense of security. By addressing the breakdown in trust and taking concrete steps to rebuild it, they proved that trust can be mended and relationships can become even stronger than before. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. YouTube will suggest your next best video to watch right here. I'm Deidre from OMG Kiss Me. Until next time, stay resilient and keep love alive.